let's get started. I think the best way to do this, well, why don't I read this? Or I'll tell you what, let's do it this way. Yeah, let me do it. I'll read it and we'll do the Tibetan. And I think is the best way to proceed with this for tonight. But the idea is for everybody to do this on their own and start, doing this kind of practice. And even if you're not going to do too many prostrations, but whatever, to get into the groove with this because it really affects everything else that we do. So we're on the Ngondro book and we're on page 1 with the introduction. Okay, so recite along with me, please. For the benefit of all sentient beings, the most gracious Buddha Shakyamuni spoke the Dharma through the sutras and tantras. The five profound paths of Mahamudra and the 6 yogas of Naropa are the essence of the Buddha's teachings, which enable one to attain enlightenment even in one lifetime. However, to practice the path of Mahamudra and the 6 yogas of Naropa, one must be fully convinced of the 4 ways of turning the mind, or the 4 ordinary foundations. The 4 ways of turning the mind are the basis for the successful practice of any of the yanas. Then one practices the 4 extraordinary foundations, or the Vajranyana Ngondro, to purify the negative karma and obscurations of the mind, speech, and body, and to develop virtues. The great 12th century Tibetan saint, Lord Jigten Sumgun, the second Nagarjuna, said, the Ngondro is even more important than the higher practices. One must truly understand and practice the simple yet profound foundational teachings before one begins the higher teachings. If anybody has any questions as we proceed, just come right up and speak, please. The altruistic motivation. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. Dagla dangwa je pedra no pa je pege. Tarpa dang tam shaken pe bardu jo par je pa tam shaki so je pe. Manam kadam yam pe sem chen tam she de wa dang den. Dug now dang drel nur du la na me pa yang dag pa zog pe zhang zhu ren po she. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Deshe du sang ma ge gi bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Ma she bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Du de ring ne sum te ni ma sang ta sam gi bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. All sentient beings, limitless as the sky, take refuge in the glorious kind Lama Vajradhara. the embodiment of the body, speech, mind, qualities, and activities of the Buddhas of the 10 directions and the 3 times, source of the 84,000 categories of the teachings, and Lord of the Sanghas. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Tibet from page 4. Nam ke tadam yam pe sem chen tam she chok chu du som gi de shin seg pa nam she ki ku song dong yon ten trin le tam she gi no word your pa choki pom po ton trak ya chu ta che jong ne Pak pe dun tam she gi nada. Dren san sa wa dan ger pa je pe pal den la ma dam pa nam la kap su chi o. Yedam kil go gi la sok nam la kap su chi o. Sangye chom den de nam la kab su chi o. Tam pe cho nam la kab su chi o. Pa pe ge dun nam la kab su chi o. Pag po kapawo kajo cho kyong song me song ye shegi cheng dang den pa nam la gab su chi o. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Shangju Ning Po Chi Ki Ba Sangye Nam La Kab Su Chi Chodang Shang Shub Sampa Yi So Klang De Shin Kab Su Chi Jitar Nong Gi De She Gi Shang Shub Tug Ni Ki Pa Dan Shang Shub Sampe La Pa La De Dag Rim Shen E Pa Tai De Shin Tro La Pandan Du Shang Shub Sam Ni Ke Gi Shing De Shin Du Ni La Pa La Rim Pa Shin Du La Pa Ji O. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sangye chodang soki chodam la, Shangju bardu dagni kapsuchi, dagi jinsoki pe sonamgi, drola penshir sangye ju parsho. May all mothers, sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mothers, sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Manam kadam yam pesem chen tam she dewa dang dewe gerdang dempar jorchi. Dug now dang do now gi gu dang drawar jorchi. Dug now me pe dewa dang mi drawar jorchi. Nay ring chak dang ni dang dra wei tang nam la nay pa jorchi. Whatever merit I've gathered through prostration, offering, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Shaksa wadang cho ching sa padang, Jesu yi rang kol sing so wa yi. Ge wa jung se da gi ji sak pa, tam she zog pe shang shub chi no. Four ways of turning the mind. Oh, this kind of leisure and endowment is supremely difficult to obtain. When we obtain this body, which is easily lost, do not waste it meaninglessly, but rather use it to attain the ultimate liberation, joyous result. Ke ma, dal jor di dra shin du na ka ching, jig par la we lu di to pe she. Don me nam yen wang du ma song war, de dre tar pa jubla so war ja. Contemplate the meaning of precious human life. Okay. Page 13. The nature of all phenomena is impermanence. Death is a certainty for all who are born. Death can descend any time like a drop of morning dew on a blade of grass. Quick, it is time to make effort for the essence of the Dharma. Contemplate the meaning of impermanence. Next, it's page 14. The fruit of one's positive karma is happiness. Suffering is the fruit of negative karma. The inexorable karmic causation is the mode of abiding in all dharmas. Henceforth, practice the Dharma by distinguishing between what should be practiced and what should be given up. Contemplate karma, cause, and result. Now, page 15. In the three lower realms, and even in the three higher ones, there is not an instant of absolute happiness. I will avoid the root cause of my samsaric existence and practice the excellent path of peace to enlightenment. Contemplate the meaning of the suffering of samsara, the faults of samsara. Okay. Now we visualize the Vajra fence. Om, Vivi, Lili, Ang, Kaka, Gagana, Zaza, Zazana, Tata, Dadana, Tata, Dadana, Papa, Babama, Yawalawa, Sa, Ka, Saha, Kriya, Soha. Om, Vivi, Lili, Ang, Kaka, Gagana, Zaza, Zazana, Tata, Dadana, Tata, Dadana, Papa, Babama, Yawalawa, Sa, Saha, Kriya, Soha. Om, Vivi, Lili, Ang, Kaka, Gagana, Zaza, Zazana, Tata, Dadana, Tata, Dadana, Papa, Babama, Yawalawa, Sa, Ka, Saha, Kriya, Soha. Om Yadharma, Hetu Prabhava, Hetu Takan Tadagato, Hea Watatata, Takansa, Yonarada, Evamwadi, Mahashamani, Soha. Om Yadharma, Hetu Prabhava, Hetu Takan Tadagato, Hea Watatata, Takansa, Yonarada, Evamwadi, Mahashamani, Soha. Om Yadharma Hetu Prabhava, Hetu Takan Tadagato, Hea Watatata, Takansa, Yonarada, Evamwadi, Mashamani, Soha. All phenomena arise from causes. Those causes have been taught by the Tathagata. The cessation too has been proclaimed by the great ascetic, the Shramaniye. Soha, so be it. In English, page 19. Om Vajrasattva Samaya, help to protect my vow to purify myself. May you remain firm with me. Grant me the complete satisfaction. Grow with me. Be loving towards me. Grant me the attainments to master the powers beyond body and nature. Show me all the deeds of body, speech, and mind. Make my mind heart good, virtuous, and auspicious. Revel in the bliss of the four joys, O Blessed One, who embodies the essence within me. Do not abandon me. Grant me the realization of the indestructible nature. Make me one with you. Thus I signify my unity with non-duality. Ah. Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sattva Tenopa Dristadredo Me Bhava Suto kayo me bawa, supo kayo me bawa. Anuraktu me bawa, sora siddhi me prayatsa. Sora karma sutsa me, sitsan triya kuru hum. Ha 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 ho, Bhagavan. Sara tada gata bajra mame munsa bajri baba mahasamaya satwaha. Om Bajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Bajra Sattva Tenopa Justadredo Me Bawa Suto Kayo Me Bawa Supo Kayo Me Bawa Anuraktu Me Bawa Sara Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sara Karma Sutsa Me Sitsan Triya Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sara Tada Gata Bajra Mame Mansa Bajri Baba Mahasamaya Satwaha Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sattva Tenopa Justadredo Me Bawa Suto Kayo Me Bawa Supo Kayo Me Bawa Anuraktu Me Bawa Sara Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sara Karma Sutsa Me Sitsan Triya Kuru Hum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sara tada gata bajra mame mansa bajri bhava mahasamaya satvaha. Page 20. Page 21. We'll recite in English one time and then 7 times each of the increasing mantras. On page 21. Arising from a defiled mind, be reborn into great wisdom. Om Sambar Bimanasar Mahazambo Hung. 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 Om Sambar Bimanasar Mahazambo Hum. Arising from defiled lives, remember and purify the flower of wisdom. Om Smar Bimanaskar Mahazambo Hum Pe. 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 Om Smar Bimar Skar Mahazaba Hong Pe. Arising, great holy wisdom, purify this life. Om Sambar Mahazambu Hong Pe. 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 Now the Mala blessing. The enlightened body, speech, and mind of the precious Dharma protectors, whose mirror-like wisdom is the door to purification. Om Richi Ramana Prarataya Hong Pe. 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 Om Ruchi Ramana Pravataya Hong Pe. The body, speech, and mind of pure love is the ultimate wisdom. Om Ri Padma Noti Shvari Hong. 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 Om Ah Hong, 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 Om Ah Hong. Om Ah Hong, 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 Om Ah Hong. Oma 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 Om Ahom. Now we come to page 24. The benefits of taking refuge. If the merit of taking refuge in the triple gem could manifest in form, the whole universe could not contain it. Even though attempting to describe the infinite benefits of practicing refuge is like attempting to empty the ocean with a teaspoon, there are 8 benefits as explained in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation. One becomes a Buddhist. It becomes the basis of all the precepts and vows. It exhausts all previous non-virtuous deeds. It protects one from obstacles created by humans and non-human. One accomplishes all one wishes. One gathers a great amount of merit. One will not fall into the lower realms. One attains Buddhahood swiftly. Refuge practice is the essence of all other practices. Therefore, one always should emphasize this practice. It has inconceivable beneficial effects. Through this practice, one can achieve the fearless state. Now, with one pointed mind, take refuge in the 3 jewels. We read in English. Meditate the surroundings as inseparable from a Buddha field. In the space in front of me is a lion throne on which are a lotus, sun, and moon disk seat, in the center of which sits the kind root lama in the form of Vajradhara with the 7 characteristics. Blue in color, 2 arms, holding a vajra and bell crossed at the heart, and gracefully sitting in the vajra position. Adorned by the silken robes and various precious jewel ornaments, and surrounded by all the lineage lamas. In front of the lion throne is the Yidam Chakrasamvara, the male and female aspects in union, whose manifestation is simultaneously appearance and emptiness. At the right side of the throne is the assembly of the Buddhas of the 3 times, possessing all the auspicious signs of a Buddha, together with the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate Kalpa. Behind the throne is the Prajnaparamita, holding the relative and ultimate meaning of the three yanas. To the left of the throne is the assembly of the compassionate bodhisattvas, surrounded by the Sangha of the three yanas. Around the base of the throne are the Dharmapalas, an ocean of guardians gathered like clouds. Back to page 25, Tibet. Mei kang wo men xing dang yu mei pei, rang dun san chen pei ma ni de tan, u su jun chen sa wei la ma ni, yen lag dung den zhou jie chang yi so. No sang chag ni dorjil to karno, sab ni dorje kil chung jing juk so. Tar dang rin chen na sol gen gi se, gu pe she nyen dam dag tab shik shuk. Don du yidam korlo de we chok, yab yom nak sok song chok nyom shok shok. Jesu som jang sang ge shen per den, kao sang sang ge tong dang lan chik shok. Yap tu she ra paro jin pe yon, Zhuang ne tek sum choki na ro jok. Yon du sen ten chang chup sen pe so, tek sum ke dun nam gi yong su kor. Shri yi sam du sam su dam pa chok yong wei, song ma gat so chen trig taber gyur. Refuge prayer. Buddhas, Dharma, Sanghas, Yidams, and Dharma protectors, to these supreme objects of refuge, for protection from the hordes of suffering of samsara, we all migrators go for refuge until enlightenment is attained. Buddhas, Dharma, Sanghas, Yidams, and Dharma protectors, to these supreme objects of refuge, for protection from the hordes of sufferings of samsara, we all migrators go for refuge until enlightenment is attained. Sangye cho sok yidam cho kyong che, Kyab chok nam la dak sok jo wa kun, Si pe jik sok nam na le kyob chir, Chang chu ma to bardu kyab su chi. Page 29. I rejoice when all sentient beings are happy and free from the samsaric suffering and swiftly attain ultimate Buddhahood. For this purpose, from now on until I achieve enlightenment, I will follow the path of the ultimate goal. I rejoice when all sentient beings are happy and free from samsaric suffering and swiftly attain ultimate Buddhahood. For this purpose, from now on until I achieve enlightenment, I will follow the path to the ultimate goal. Drokon de dan dog now dre wa dan, nor du la me to pa da ga we. De shir den ne chang chu ma lo kwa, me pe don chog lam la jog pa cha. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. So now, this is where we make prostrations. If you can have the space, if you have the ability to do prostrations right now, please do it. I'm going to do some prostrations. If you can't, and you're limited to the space that you're in right now, as you recite this, you visualize the three jewels, Om, Ah, Hong, as you are reciting this mantra, and you continue visualizing that you are doing the prostrations. So these prostrations are there so that we release, overcome, give up our ego, and that we are paying homage to Buddha Shakyamuni, the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So it's a very important process, and this is what we do, and we'll accumulate recitations with this. Anybody have any questions? Okay,
so this is the mantra you're talking about is page 31.
Page, we take page 30 and 31, yes. So we're going to recite it. Beg pardon?
The refuge prayer and 31, okay.
Page 30 and 31. So I'm not going to change my camera, but I am going to move my microphone so you can hear me.
Taking a break.
We take refuge. Wait a minute. Let me get my.
Time to get on the floor.
I got my stones here. So I got 25 stones. So I haven't done this for a while, to be honest. So I'll do my best, and I just had dinner. So we'll see how this goes. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Trinsen Sawa Dan Gurpar, Jepe Pao Dan Lama, Dampa Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Yudam Kil Gorgi La Sok Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Sange Chom Dende Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Pecho Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Pepe Gedu Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Pawoka Jojo Kome, Chung Yeshegi Cheng Deng Dampa Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo. Trinsen Sawa Dan Gurpar. Jepe Pao Dan Lama, Dampa Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Yudam Kil Gorgi La Sok Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Sange Chom Dende Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Pecho Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Pepe Gedu Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Pawoka Jojo Kome, Chung Yeshegi Cheng Deng Dampa Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Trinsen Sawa Dan Gurpar, Jepe Pao Dan Lama, Dampa Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Yudam Kil Gorgi La Sok Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Sange Chom Dende Nam Lai Kep Suchiyo, Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Georgia Kame. Shunya Shaki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Pepe Paldan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila So Nama Capsuccio. Sange Chum Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Georgia Kame. Shunya Shaki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Pepe Paldan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila So Nama Capsuccio. Sange Chum Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Georgia Kame. Shunya Shaki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. That's all the prostrations I can do, but if you can do more, go right ahead. We can continue reciting. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Jepe Pao Dan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila Sognam La Capsuccio. Sange Chom Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke Do Nama Capsuccio. Pawoka Jo Chukome Shunya Sheki. Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Jepe Pao Dan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila Sognam La Capsuccio. Sange Chom Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke Do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Jo Chukome. Shunya Sheki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Jepe Pao Dan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila Sognam La Capsuccio. Sange Chom Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke Do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Jo Chukome Shunya Sheki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Jepe Pao Dan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila Sognam La Capsuccio. Sange Chom Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke Do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Jo Chukome Shunya Sheki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Jepe Pao Dan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila Sognam La Capsuccio. Sange Chom Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke Do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Jo Chukome Shunya Sheki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Jepe Pao Dan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila Sognam La Capsuccio. Sange Chom Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke Do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Jo Chukome Shunya Sheki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Jepe Pao Dan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila Sognam La Capsuccio. Sange Chom Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke Do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Jo Chukome Shunya Sheki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Junzen Zawa Den Gerpo. Jepe Pao Dan Lama. Dampa Nama Capsuccio. Yadam Gilgo Gila Sognam La Capsuccio. Sange Chom Dende Nama Capsuccio. Then Pedro Nama Capsuccio. Papeke Do Nama Capsuccio. Bawoka Jo Chukome Shunya Sheki Cheng Deng Dampa Nama Capsuccio. You can take a drink of water if you like. Adrian was doing prostrations for us all. I visualized him scampering up a tree as he was doing those.
I was eating some carpet too.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah. Well, I got about maybe 15 done or something. Okay, so we recite the refuge prayer as many times as possible while we meditate that the refuge visualization dissolves in oneself and one dissolves into emptiness. So now we do a short meditation with this visualization. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Open your eyes. Go to page 32. Now the Vajra fence, the dakinis facing outward. Om, I, Vivi, Lili, Ang, Kaka, Gagana, Zaza, Zazana, Tata, Dadana, Tata, Dadana, Papa, Babama, Yawalawa, Sa, Saha, Krisa, Soha. Om, I, Vivi, Lili, Ang, Kaka, Gagana, Zaza, Zazana, Tada dadana, tada dadana, papa babama, Yawalawa, Sa, Saha, Kusa, Soha. Om, A, I, O, Rivi, Lele, O, Ang, A, Kaka, Gagana, Zaza, Zazana, Tata, Dadana, Tata, Dadana, Papa, Babama, Yawalawa, Sa, Ka, Saha, Kriya, Soha. Om Yudama, Hetu, Pabawa. Hetu, Takan, Sa, Yonarada, Evamwadi, Ma, Shamani, Soha. Om Yudharma Hetu Prabhava Hetu Takan Tadagato Hel Watatata Takansa Yodarada Evam Wadi Ma Shamani Soha Om Yudharma Hetu Prabhava Hetu Takan Tadagato Hel Watatata Takansa Yodarada Evam Wadi Ma Shamani Soha Om Bajra Sattva Samaya Manu Palaya Bajra Sattva Tenopa Justa Dredo Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anuraktu Mebawa Sara Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sara Karma Sitsa Me Sitsan Triya Kuru Hong Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sara Tada Gata Bajra Bame Mansa Bajri Baba Maha Samaya Sattva Ha Om Bajra Sattva Samaya Manu Palaya Bajra Sattva Tanopa Justa Dredo Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anuraktu Mebawa Sara Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sara Karma Sitsa Me Sitsan Triya Kuru Hong Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sara Tada Gata Bajra Bame Mansa Bajri Baba Maha Samaya Sattva Ha Om Bajra Sattva Samaya Manu Palaya Bajra Sattva Tenopa Justa Dredo Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anuraktu Mebawa Sara Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sara Karma Sitsa Me Sitsan Triya Kuru Hong Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sara Tada Gata Bajra Bame Mansa Bajri Baba Maha Samaya Satwaha. Now page 35 for the English. This is it. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the five families and the three times, who have destroyed all defilements, lead to equipoise of the enlightened mind. Teata pensadriva avobodhaneya soha. 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 The enlightened body, speech, and mind of the peaceful and wrathful deities is the Buddha. Om Ru Ru Da Ru Moki Moki Soha. 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 The body, speech, and mind of the Buddha is the cause for enlightenment of all sentient beings. Om Dari Dari Bendai Soha. 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 The bliss and strength in the heart center of the Buddha is equipoise. Om Hanubashabara Hridaya Soha. 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 Om Ah Hong, 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 Om Ah Hong. Om Ahom. Visualize with faith that the root Lama is present in the sky in front, surrounded by assemblies of Yidam deities and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. At the end of the session, we recite on page 36. The objects of refuge dissolve into the main figure, Vajradhara. He dissolves into your crown. Yabyo Kornam Sowodan, Deyang Wudu Sune Rangla Tempagyo. Meditate the dissolution, all the objects melt into Vajradhara. Vajradhara melts into light and dissolves into you through the crown of your head, coming to your heart center and radiating bliss and emptiness from your heart center. Strength, bliss is the primal cause, the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha, for the benefit of the enlightenment of all sentient beings. Page 37, the dedication. Dorje Chang, Dalopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dormalor Gampopa, Pagmadrupa, and Lordri Kumpa. Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessing of all the Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve the all-knowing state, and may all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara by defeating all enemies, confusion, the cause of suffering. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. As Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra realize the ultimate state, Buddhahood, I will follow in their path and share the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. Now back to page 37. Tibet. Dorje Chang Chan Tali Narodang Marpa Mela Choje Gampopa Pagmo Jupa Gyawadri Kompa Kagula Manam Kita Shisho Sonam Di Tam Shezik Pani Tobne Ne Pedranam Pam Shete Kega Nachi Balong Chopayi Si Pedro Ledro Wa Sho Shang Shu Sam Cho Grimpo She Ma Ke Panam Ke Gurchi Ke Panam Pa Me Pa Yang Gone Gondu Pelwa Sho. Repeat that again. Shang Shu Sam Cho Grimpo She Ma Ke Panam Ke Gorchi Ke Panam Pa Me Pa Yang Gone Gondu Pawa Sho. Repeat. Shang Shu Sam Cho Grimpo She Ma Ke Panam Ke Gorchi Ke Panam Pa Me Pa Yang Gone Gondu Pawa Sho. Lama Kukam Sangwa Sowa De Chok Tu Kuse Ringwa Sowa De Trin Le Darshin Ge Pa Sowa De Lama Dangdra Wa Me Pa Jin Ji Lo Champao Pa Wo Jitar Kan Pa Dang Kundu Zang Po De Yang De Shin Te Ta Kun Gi Jesu Da Globe Ching Ge Wa Di Dag Tam She Rab Tu No Sangye Kusom Ne Pe Jin Lab Dang Journey Mi Gur Dem Pe Jin Lab Dang Ge Dun Mi Che Du Pe Jin Lab Gi Jita Nong Shem Mon Lab Ju Pa Sho. Next on page 41 is the Dekorma prayer. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate word of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great tree Kompa Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Back to page 41, Tibet. Dakdang korde tam shegi, du som du sag padan, yo pege we sawadi, Dagdang sem chen tam she nur du la na me pa yang dag pa zog pe zhang zhu bren po she to pa jor chi. She ja kun chi kun gen so ki je. Tendrel ne la wang ju dri kon pa. Rin san pao gi ten pa si te va. Se dru to sam gon pe zen gyo chi. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root Lama and lineage Lamas, divine assembly of Yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yogins, Yoginis, and Dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the three times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the innate word of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Sravaka or Pratyeka Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Mars, and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo. Om, Ah, Hom. Om, Ah, Hom. Om, Ah, Hom. May my body, speech, and mind become inseparable with the body, speech, and mind of all the enlightened ones. Thank you all very much.
I like doing that together, and I like, that we did it last week and this week too.
And we'll do it next week.
I'm game.
You like the practice?
Yeah, there's a nice, it covers a lot of ground. It's a wonderful series of prayers. It's intentional to the theme of refuge. Part of something bigger, the Ngondro.
Do you like the melodies? You like doing the Tibetan melodies and see the gravity of some of those melodies of just they'll grab your heart.
That's what I would need to practice, the melodies.
Hey, Curtis, are you leading next week?
Am I leading?
Are you leading the practice next week?
Let me just show up. That's the first job.
So
Hey, Lance, some of these on some of the I guess the recitations, instead of doing like the one mala round of the Om Ahum, you can modify that and do 3 or 5.
oh sure.
And same with the with the mantra of
Long refuge
mantras. I mean, usually I'll do like sets of 3 in English and then do the 7 in Tibetan or in Sanskrit.
What do you mean, the increasing mantras?
mantra. Uh-huh.
Sure, you can do it sure, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
And it helps you to learn that way, by doing more and more and more. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because a lot of times even on the 100-syllable purification mantra, instead of doing just 3, do 7, 11, 15.
Sure,
Yeah.
whatever helps to, everything should be stable in your mind when you move from one to the next.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So if you don't have that stability and you want to continue doing that particular mantra, by all means.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I mean, like I said, easily this can go, and usually the meditation after the prostrations, sometimes you do, most of the time I guess it's a short meditation, but I usually like to do about half an hour
Meditation?
after I do the prostrations,
Sure.
because right then you're so focused, everything is one pointed. So to do a half an hour, 40 minutes of meditation right after that, you're full of sweat, just dripping, but the concentration is just so intense.
That's exactly right.
You know.
No, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly right. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. So
and that's your body, speech, and mind all coming together, in that samadhi, creating a samadhi.
So yeah, that's me personally. Right after prostration, that meditation is just really intense and really focused.
Well, let me ask you: did you do that right away, or did you have to kind of build up to that?
It took me about 4 or 5 months of doing it every single day, and after that, now it's like every day I do at least half an hour, 40 minutes, right after the prostrations.
Right. So that's the point I wanted to hear everybody understand, that it takes a while to do this, to build your routine, to build your stability with this and your focus. All this takes a little time. If you don't invest the time, you're not going to have the results.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. Initially, for like first month or 2, your mind's scattered all over the place. You're thinking about past things, future things, and this and that, and oh yes, all over. But once you start getting really focused, and especially doing the prostrations, as you increase more and more and more and more, that meditation right after is just, it's so calming. It's just, there's no thought of anything, no previous, no future, nothing. You're right there in the present, and that's just really, really nice. So
good. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So,
All right, anybody else have anything? We'll,
Yeah, Lance, I have a question.
okay,
If you're doing seated prostrations,
Yes.
doing it either this way or just pranaming,
yes.
how many should you try to do? Because your body's not going to give out like if you were doing the full prostrations.
Well, as many as you have time for and as many as you feel that you have strength for, so if you want to do 100, if you want to do 200, as many as you can. If you only can do 25 or 50, that's okay too. So it's a function of your time and it's a function of your physical ability to be able to do it.
Okay, thank you.
But you can, by doing that many times, that's where you have your breakthrough. That's what this is about, is seeing the practice, accumulation practices are the device that we use to break through that which we think could not be broken. And then when you get to the other side, like Tom just said, you're just clear, it's a different mind, it's your mind opened up. It's your meditation mind.
Nice. Thank you.
So this is where we're using our body to get there. We're using our intellect to get there because we're focusing on the meaning. But at a point, we stop using our body, we sit and we rest, and our mind is just completely one pointed. And then our heart opens up and then we have that experience, you see. So we're using our body, speech, and mind. Okay. Well, very good. Thank you very much. It was a good practice, I think. And I think it's inspired me. I'm going to start doing a little bit more prostrations in the morning than I've been doing and build up my strength a little bit. I do my physical exercises, but they're not aerobic like this is. Okay. All right. So thank you. And tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about the 12 links of dependent origination. So that's going to be good. We haven't done that in a long time, so that'll be good. And then next month, we're going to, after we do the 12 links, and we're going to do the 8 consciousnesses and everyday consciousness and primordial awareness. We're going to do that. And then after that, we're going to switch over to Noble Film Night. That Saturday night is going to be Noble Film Night. And I figured out how I can run a movie on my computer and have you see it on your screen, a DVD. So I got a whole bunch of really great films that you will all love, I know, and will really help your practice and your understanding of what it is to be from the Himalayas, to see the culture and the lifestyle and so on. It is really something extra special. So if you have the ability, if you have a television that has, flat screen, it probably has a special cable called an HDMI, high definition media interface cable. And you can plug that cable into your TV. And most computers, if you have your laptop, and you can take your laptop into the other room where your TV is and plug that HDMI into your computer, then you can see what you see on your computer on your big screen. And you really will appreciate the bigger screen for these films that we're going to do. So you have plenty of time to explore that. If I can help you figure out what cable you need, I can do that because there's a couple different kinds of HDMI cables. But once we get over that, you will really enjoy that.
Did you send the link out, Lance?
The link to what?
The movie you're talking about?
I'm going to show it on Zoom.
Oh,
Okay. So we'll go on Zoom And then I'll be able to show the movie and screen share it with everybody.
We got our cable at Harbor Freight. Cheapest place in town. All
right, well, cool. What can I
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds something like Pier 1. Harbor Freight. I used to get my hash from them, I think.
Does Harbor Freight sell HDMI cables?
When the
Yeah.
Merchant Marine will dock in, you know?
They had several different lengths too.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either too. We looked it up.
Didn't know what.
That's funny. It's a
I looked
hardware
up where
store.
to buy HDMI cables, and it brought up Harbor Freight.
That's too funny.
Yeah, you can get it. Yes, that's right. But there's a couple different kinds of connectors. There's a mini connector and there's a C connector. So most televisions are going to have a standard HDMI, but the computers might have one of the two smaller ones. So you got to match that up properly.
For those of you who have Apple computers, you can do what is it called? AirPlay?
AirPlay?
Yeah,
What is that? Wireless?
it's wireless. Yeah,
But you got to have a TV that's capable of that.
right.
But if you don't have the TV that's capable of AirPlay, then with the Mac, you're right about this. You got to have a special adapter. What do they use? It's called FireWire or something like that. They got a special name.
I think it plays it through Apple TV.
But you got to have an Apple TV to do it.
Right.
But if you got a regular TV,
If you can
but
use
you got
H-
a Mac computer is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Then you got to have this adapter,
yeah, currently it's Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah. They have, they make all kinds of stuff that'll slap into the Thunderbolt, and there's an HDMI out that's usually one of those that's adapted.
Right.
Yeah.
So Michael and Tom, I know you both have Mac computers. So if you want to explore that, if it's worth it to you, having the bigger screen is really a good thing. Gary, what do you have a regular laptop? You have like a Dell or something like that? Or do you have Macintosh?
It's just it's not a laptop. This is a monitor.
Oh, okay. Well, you may or may not be able to do it then, but. All right, so that's for sometime the end of February.
What do Tibetans eat for popcorn movie night?
Hard cheese. A bag full of hard cheese.
Hard cheese, huh?
Hard cheese, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Hey, just remember, if you're gonna do all those prostrations, do it on an empty stomach.
Yes.
Do
First
not.
thing in the morning is best.
Yeah. Do not try to do it on a full stomach. Oh,
Yeah, that's
wait no. Uh-huh.
All right, well, I'm so glad to be doing this with everybody. I think it's wonderful. I'm very happy. We got to tell Rinpoche what we're doing, Gongchen Rinpoche, and he was very, very pleased that, we have so many people, Western people who are doing this, and there's more Western people doing it than Eastern people, I can tell you that. So it's very good. It's a great blessing, and he sends his blessing, so it's wonderful. So we're
What
on
are
the
you
path
referring
doing
to,
good things.
Lance?
Yes, sir.
What are you referring to? I'm a little confused.
About what?
You said Rinpoche was pleased. Is that who did you talk with?
Rinpoche.
You mean Kempo Samdup?
Garchin.
No, Garchin. We had the Dharma Surya board had a meeting with Gongchen Rinpoche a couple of weeks ago through Zoom. So all the different Sangha groups got to do this with Rinpoche, and Kempo set it up, and he did the translation for us. But we were talking to him, and he's looking at us and everything. So I got to explain what we're doing with Buddhism 101, what we're doing on Zoom and everything. So he, as I said, he was very happy about that.
I bet you it's, I mean, since the virus has been with us and we've been doing so much Zooming, I mean, you're really doing a whole lot more teaching than you were a year ago, Lance. It's wonderful. I'm sure he loved it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're doing 4 nights a week and plus attending Kempo's teachings on the weekends and Drupan's teachings on the weekend and filling in where I can't be at 2 places at one time. I watch them during the week on YouTube. So yeah.
Just very quickly, I want to share with everyone. I got this addition to my live. I don't know if you can see.
It's got a glare on it. What is it? It looks familiar to me.
Words of my perfect teacher.
Words of my perfect teacher.
Oh yeah, I got a copy. Yeah, I was thinking that would be a good book to do.
Yeah. So I just got this. I'm looking forward to read it.
Yeah, and there's a study book that goes with it, and there's also an online teaching that goes with it. So yeah, it's a great book. There's a number of things in there that aren't in the jewel ornament that is really good. So it is the Lam Rim text of the Nyingma tradition. Words of my perfect teacher.
Mhm.
Now, this is what goes on with today's teachings.
Yes, the Diamond Rosary.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yes, got that. My cover looks a little different than that, so I'll probably have a different edition.
Do you have the blue book?
Yes.
Yeah, the blue book is a newer edition than that, but it's the same. The text, the content is the same.
Okay.
All right, brothers and sisters, thank you all very much.